Hi, how you doing? I'm Dan Shirley, Team Us and Bigfoot, and we're up here in Northern California, up the Forest Hill area. I'm up here with these two gentlemen. To my left is Jim, and to my right is Don. They have some experiences they have witnessed, and they have some story that's even documented. And I'm up here with these two gentlemen. They brought us to this vicinity, and where Jim had his experience, and I'm going to have him explain what he witnessed and experienced. And after that, then I'm going to have Don to my right. I'm going to have him. He's going to relate to you of his experiences. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give this to Jim. Jim, would you tell our viewers exactly what you experienced?
I was up here with one of my best friends, Randy Wise. We were in his van, and we were parked right over there in the road. Anyhow, it was nighttime, and the thing about it was that we were sitting there and we were talking, and I got this feeling. I told Randy, I said, we should leave. And he goes, okay, we will. And he fired up his van and started to take off, but the van didn't move. And I was telling him, well, take the brake off. He's going, I already have the brake off. And all of a sudden we felt the van just drop, and it just took off. So that was what happened up here where we're at now.
And Jim, could you explain to my viewers on your actual experience where you had seen Sasquatch?
My actual sighting was with the same gentleman. His name is Randy Wise, a good friend of mine. And we were over there on a different ridge, a couple ridges over. And I got out of the van and I smelled this horrible smell. And my buddy goes, wow. He goes, man, he goes, what's the matter with you? Because I was kind of gagging. He goes, well, man, what's wrong with you? Well, he rolled his window down. He started gagging too. And then he seen something. He goes, Jimmy goes, I think I seen something move. And the sun was going down, so everything behind us was a silhouette. And I go, that's a burnout stump. And then as I jumped over this big log and got closer to it, I was probably 20 feet from it. It actually took off on a run with its arms swinging and just flying out through the woods. And I ran the other direction back to the van, and that's what happened.
Jim, can I ask you, do you know approximately how tall it was?
Well, I'm 6'4", and it was at least 2 feet taller than I am.
So that would put it around 8.5 to 9 feet.
Right.
Thank you.
I don't know for sure, but yeah, it was at least that.
Thank you, Jim. Now to my right is Don, and Don's got a couple experiences and some stories here he's going to tell you. Go ahead, Don.
Well, this starts off somewhere off Interstate 80 in Northern California, and a hiker, avid hiker, had a big heavy backpack. His family dropped him off at a location toward Reno, somewhere up there, and this long trail, he was going to hike from there to somewhere, Forest Hill, somewhere, Auburn, somewhere. And somewhere along the hike, this shale, narrow trail, he slipped and fell and went down the side of the hill. And he finally got his backpack off, and he was in severe pain, and he managed to get to the top of the trail, and he passed out. And when he woke up, he felt his body moving like this, and was afraid to open his eyes, and he passed out again. And time went on, and the next thing he remembers is that he was being laid down on the ground or somewhere, and suddenly a door opened, and there was a gentleman that walked out and inspected him, and this gentleman hiker had a compound fracture through his jeans. And this gentleman in the cabin stepped out to help him, called Placer County Sheriff's Department, in turn, Auburn Journal staff, Sacramento Bee staff. They came up and checked it out. this gentleman, this hiker, weighs 180 pounds, and he's being carried like this, like a baby. And they said, where is your backpack? I don't know. They hiked back. It was 8 miles back the trail. Well, how did this hiker get to this cabin? Who knows?
No skinned up knees.
No skinned up knees, dirty pants, anything. And we don't know of any human being alive who can take a 180-pound gentleman and carry him like this for 8 miles of rugged trail. Now, what do you think about it? Truthfully, I don't know, but I have my own ideas. Who could do a thing like that?
And he said it was a big, hairy...
My friend Jimmy is 6 feet 4 inches tall and a big, strong man. He couldn't do it.
No,
So
not,
now
not even.
you explain to me, folks, who did it? Who can do it? I'm sure Jimmy couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But who can?
And Don, and this was documented too. Am I correct?
It's yes, by the Placer County Sheriff's Department, by the Auburn Journal staff, by the Sacramento Bee staff. It's all documented. So there's no hearsay. It's documented.
Back in like 1980.
About 1980 is when it happened.
And Don, could you tell me you had there was another experience that you had? Could you tell my viewers on that?
Well, yes, a longtime friend of mine. I was working at the Black Canyon gold mine, and I was his assistant, the superintendent, and he told me to go ahead and leave early. I'll meet you down the way. And when he came into the establishment where I was, he appeared to have seen a ghost. And I said, Frank, what's wrong? And he said, you're not going to believe what I just saw. And I said, what is it, Frank? And his voice was trembling, and he said, I was at Mumford Bar, I guess it is, the campground, and I had my bright lights on. It's dark, and an object moved from my left side to my right, and it was standing vertically and about 8 to 9 feet tall and walking across the road with the arms swinging. And he said, nobody's going to believe me, but I saw it with my own eyes in the headlights of my pickup. Okay, fine. So you saw it.
Now this area, Mumford Bar, or Don's talking about, last year, and if you looked at some of our earliest videos, our latest videos, you would see that some of the videos we have where there's footprints. Okay, I can collaborate with Don's story because of the footprints that are actually on our videos. One is in the snow, one is in the ground. It's the exact same area of what Don is talking about. So what he had just told you and witnessed, and what I have actually have got is documented on film of the footprints. So it's like he said, you tell us what it is. We know what it is. And I have these two fellows with me because they're gonna concur of what me and Garland have been researching in this area for the last solid year. Now we have shown you the evidence in this area. Now that we have two witnesses and they're bona fide witnesses, now you put the dots all together and guess what you got? Yes, you have a Sasquatch. Yes, they are real. Not only have these two gentlemen have seen them and experienced it, as you well know, me and my partner Garland, we have also saw them, we've seen them, we've experienced them. Not to mention we have probably most of the update evidence that anybody else has as a researcher. Now, there's another thing I want you to understand where Jim's going to talk about. This area that we're also at has to do with a particular Indian tribe. And Jim, go ahead and tell them what this is about.
Well, basically there's the tribe that is in this area, the Miwok tribe. They're all good friends of mine. And they have told me about that this area is big on it's a power area that they actually talk or communicate or whatever with the Bigfoot, Sasquatch. And that's the area that I'm in right now with these gentlemen. And so I don't know what to say. I mean, I have to believe that if they have been doing this for many years, talking with these creatures or whatever, that it's real.
Yes.
And mind you also, in this whole vicinity, like I have been trying to explain to the viewers, because I do believe in a theory that they live in the ground. As I said before, all around here is nothing but mines, mine shafts, and mines, mines that go into the side of mountains and such.
Those are called drifts.
The drifts, and over in that area over in here is particularly where Jim is saying where they have the ceremonies. And what the ceremonies basically is, it's they get enlightened, and also they believe it brings them enlightened to communicate with Sasquatch. Now the Indians have this belief for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's not crap. This is real. This is history. This is the truth of it. And so that's what that's what we're doing up in here. These two gentlemen, I've checked them out. Their stories are up and up. There's nothing phony or fake about the situation. Period. Don's been up here. He's lived here for years and years. Jim has lived here for years and years, and he's also a logger.
All my life I've been up here mining and logging and everything else. Over 50 years. So.
And Don, he's worked in the mines up here, so he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Yes, I have.
So, and just probably about 10 minutes ago, I was out here and I was knocking on wood, trying to see if we get some kind of response. And Garland and Don had got a scent of a Puget smell. Now, we know where we're at, and we know they're here. As a matter of fact, they're probably watching us right now. So hopefully during this, we're doing a small documentary, hopefully somewhere where the camera is moving around at sometimes, we can catch something on film, hopefully. And we will come back to this area, and we're going to investigate this as a new area for us. And thank for these gentlemen turning us on to this particular spot. And we're going to dig into it really deep. And I think that we're absolutely in this area. We're awfully close. We're going to get this guy on film. We're going to get him on video. And but basically what we want out of this is I hope these two men's their witnesses and their experiences collaborated what we have done, the work we've done. This has got to tell you that yes, it's real. Yes, it is. It does exist. There's no other way to put it. So
I know that's awesome.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be bringing in some more videos here shortly. So just kind of hang tight with us. And this is Dan Shirley, Team Us and Bigfoot, and we'll catch you next time.